Good afternoon, everyone. This is Heidi Meyers. This is part of my series on starting a business in the United States. Now, we're going to talk about E-2 treaty investor visas and status. The E-2 treaty investor visa depends upon whether you're a citizen of a country that has a bilateral investment treaty with the United States. So in order to get an E-2 visa or E-2 status, you must be a citizen of one of those countries with which the United States has a treaty providing specifically for E-2 treaty investor status. So there are countries on every continent that have these treaties with the United States. There's a list that you can check to see if your country is included. So, for example, there are a lot of Latin American countries that have bilateral investment treaties with the U.S., such as Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and then also there are some West Indian countries that have treaties, such as Jamaica, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago. Mexico and Canada, of course, have provisions for E-2 status with the newer version of NAFTA. And also countries in the Middle East and Africa, such as Egypt, Jordan, Ethiopia, a number of other countries, Israel also. So first you have to be a citizen of one of the treaty countries. Now, for example, Pakistan has a treaty with the United States, so Pakistanis can get E-2 investor status. However, India does not have the bilateral investment treaty with the U.S., so Indian nationals cannot get E-2 status. And then another example might be if you are a national of Taiwan. Taiwan has a treaty with the U.S. and you can get E-2 status, but if you are a citizen of the People's Republic of China, of mainland China, you cannot. So you have to check the list, and then if you are a citizen of a country that does not have a treaty with the United States, but you become a citizen of another country that does have a treaty with the U.S., you can obtain E-2 status that way. So for example, if you are a citizen of India and you get citizenship in Grenada or you get citizenship in Canada, you can then get the E-2 to come to the United States. So that's the first thing. You have to be a citizen of the particular country. So then you're going to have to make an investment that is not considered marginal. Marginal means it can't just be a family business with no U.S. worker employee. So the business cannot be just for the purpose of supporting yourself and your family. So if you have an idea of, oh, I want to start a business, I'm going to hire my wife, I'm going to hire my kids, I'm going to, hire my cousins, and those are the only people I'm going to hire. That's not going to work, because you have to hire U.S. workers. All right, U.S. citizens, U.S. permanent residents, conditional residents, people granted asylum. That means they're already asylees. So it can't be just for your family members. You have to have a plan to hire U.S. workers. That's part of it. And then the investment also needs to be substantial, meaning which depends upon what is the value of the business. So either you can start a business from scratch or you can purchase an already existing business. Of course, there's huge differences in what it takes to start a business depending on the type of business. So for example, service businesses generally take a lot less capital, whereas other types of businesses can take a lot more capital. Of course, running a fashion design firm is going to cost a certain amount, whereas something that requires a lot of capital, like mining or something along those lines, is going to be a lot more expensive. So in terms, an investment has to be substantial, and it would be proportional to what the value of the business is. So if the total value of the business is only like $100,000 or less, then the E-2 treaty investor should really be the 100% owner. If it's worth a lot more, it can be less of a percentage of ownership. But E-2 treaty country nationals have to own at least 50% of the business. All right, and then in terms of what counts as a capital investment, aside from, you know, cash, money, funds, loans may also count. Additionally, if there's a company abroad and the company abroad sends inventory or equipment, that possibly can count. But also intellectual property is also important. So intellectual property can be part of the value of the business. It can be, intellectual property can be part of the investment. Of course, that has to be proven. So I just wanted to give you a little overview, a small overview. So you can either apply for a visa abroad for E-2 status, or I'm sorry, for an E-2 visa, and then when you enter you would get E-2 status. Or once you're in the United States in some other status, you can change status to E-2 with USCIS. The application processes with USCIS are totally different from the application process with the U.S. consulate or embassy abroad. So you can't just photocopy what you gave to USCIS and give it to the State Department. Okay, so just a brief overview. So this is a great way to get immigration status if you want to start a business or purchase a business here, and it gives you work authorization. Now, I mentioned intellectual property, and intellectual property is actually really important to a number of the employment-based visa categories. So we will have another episode where I talk about intellectual property and how it's important for immigration, but not just that. We're in an environment where immigrants are being accused a lot of theft of intellectual property, and then it's just generally intellectual property is very important for running a business in general, so you don't have other companies who steal your products or your designs or your logo and your trademarks. So in another episode we will talk about how important intellectual property is for different immigration categories, and then also in general how it's important. All right, so that's it for today. To sum up, if you are a national of one of the E-2 treaty countries, this is a great way to be able to come here and work, start a business, purchase an already existing business, and that's it for today. So if you have any suggestions for other videos on other topics that you would like, let me know. I'm happy to hear about all your suggestions and ideas. And thank you very much. And please remember to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I'm attorney Heidi Meyers, 11 Broadway, Suite 925, New York, New York, 10004, or at 212-791-4007, or 646-508-5225, and my email is heidimeyerslaw@gmail.com. So thank you everyone, and have a good day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.